The ocean never sleeps. Beneath that vast blue shroud of mystery lies a universe in constant motion, a place where billions of lives struggle for existence with every passing second. But today, we will not speak of the titans that rule the open waters, nor the apex predators with their jaws of blood and bone. Instead, let us descend. Let us slip through the layers of the deep, leaving the blinding sun behind, to find the sprawling meadows of seagrass and the silent, stoic coral reefs. Here, in this quiet twilight, exists a creature that defies logic, a paradox written by nature in a moment of whimsy. Look closely at that swaying blade of seagrass. What do you see? Perhaps just drifting debris or a withered branch of coral. But look deeper. Let your eyes adjust to the dim, filtered light of the underwater world. There is an eye looking back at you, an eye that speaks, belonging to a body that has mastered the art of vanishing. We are face to face with the seahorse, the gentle phantom of the ocean floor. If the ocean were an art museum, the seahorse would be its most surreal masterpiece. Gaze upon its form. It seems as though the creator, in a playful mood, scavenged the spare parts of other beasts to assemble it. It bears the proud head of a stallion, with a long snout and high cheekbones, resembling a warhorse of the terrestrial plains. Yet, this horse has no legs and will never gallop. Instead, its body is encased in rigid, bony rings, like the armor of an ancient insect. Its eyes, bulbous and independent, rotate like those of a chameleon, one looking into the past, the other scanning the future. And strangest of all is its tail, flexible, powerful, capable of grasping and holding, much like a monkey in a tropical rainforest. The ancient Greeks, when they first found the dried remains of this creature washed ashore, called them hippocampus, the horse monster. But the truth is far removed from that fearsome name. Behind the mask of a monster lies one of the most fragile and passive souls in the ocean. The seahorse does not choose confrontation to survive. It chooses disappearance. Imagine living in a world where everything wants to eat you, but you possess no speed to escape. What would you do? The seahorse found the answer. If you cannot outrun the enemy, become the landscape. Their camouflage has reached the pinnacle of artistry. They are the grand masters of disguise. When living among soft pink sea fans, their bodies blush a gentle rose. When drifting into murky, silt-filled waters, they don the drab grays and browns of the earth. Some species even grow fleshy filaments, sprouting tendrils from their skin to mimic swaying algae or rotting debris. They stand upright, motionless, dissolving absolutely into their surroundings. Their stillness is absolute. Amidst the churning currents, the seahorse stands like a statue, its tail anchored firmly to a stem of seagrass. For them, stillness is not merely physical, it is a philosophy of survival, an invisible shield against the prying eyes of death. But this tranquility is merely a facade. Inside that small, seemingly lethargic body, a fierce biological battle rages without pause, a battle named hunger. There is a cruel irony in the life of the seahorse. They are among the most gluttonous creatures in the sea. Nature gifted them with the ultimate camouflage, but robbed them of a complete digestive system. The seahorse has no true stomach and no teeth to grind its food. Its digestive tract is nothing more than a simple, short tube. The tragic consequence is that food passes through their bodies like water through a sieve. They extract almost no nutrition from what they consume. Therefore, simply to stay alive, to keep that tiny heart beating, the seahorse must eat continuously. An adult seahorse is a slave to an empty belly. They must hunt and consume upwards of 3,000 tiny shrimp or larvae every single day. From the moment dawn breaks through the surface until the cloak of night falls, their sole purpose is condensed into one word: eat. Observe their hunting technique. Though they are poor swimmers, the seahorse is a master assassin, boasting a success rate of 90%, a statistic that even the great white shark would envy. The secret lies in patience and the perfect physics of their snout. The seahorse does not chase, it ambushes. Its eyes swivel independently, acting like radar, scanning every micro-movement in the vicinity. When a tiny mysid shrimp or a plankton drifts unwittingly into the kill zone, the seahorse remains frozen. It calculates the distance. It waits for the moment the prey is most at ease. And then, snap. It happens faster than a human blink, faster than the brain can process the image. The seahorse's long, tubular snout works on the principle of elastic energy storage. The muscles in its neck compress like a high-tension spring, then release in a fraction of a second. As the mouth opens, it creates a massive negative pressure zone, functioning like a high-powered vacuum. Water is sucked into the mouth at terrifying speed, dragging the hapless prey with it. The victim never even realizes it is in danger. There is no struggle, no blood. 1 millisecond, the shrimp is swimming freely. The next, it is gone, vanished into the throat of the predator. The streamlined shape of the seahorse's head minimizes water disturbance, ensuring the strike creates no warning ripple. It is a death that is silent, sudden, and perfect. The seahorse swallows, and immediately its eyes rotate again, seeking the next victim. The vacuum of the ocean floor must never stop running.
If hunting is an art,
Then simply surviving the day is a miracle. The vast ocean is not the dreamy paradise often depicted in cartoons. It is a battlefield soaked in salt, where the law of the jungle is executed with ruthless efficiency. The strong devour the weak. And in this brutal food chain, the seahorse is one of the most fragile links. Look at how they move. It is almost pitiable. The seahorse holds the record for being the slowest fish in the world. A tiny dorsal fin on its back flutters frantically like the wings of a hummingbird, yet it only propels them forward inch by agonizing inch. They lack a tail fin for thrust. They lack the muscle for speed. In a world where velocity equals life, the seahorse's slowness is an invitation to the reaper. Enemies are everywhere. Buried in the sand are crabs with pincers like hydraulic clamps, always ready to crush anything that moves. Prowling above are tuna, rays, and seabirds, always hungry. Once their camouflage is blown, the seahorse is utterly helpless. They cannot flee. They cannot bite back. Their final line of defense is being unpalatable. Their bodies are not covered in soft scales, but in hard, bony plates stacked like roofing tiles. This structure makes them crunchy, dry, and unappealing on the menu. Many predators, after snapping up a seahorse, spit it out, feeling as though they are chewing on a thorny, dried twig. But the most brutal enemy of the seahorse does not possess teeth or claws. It is the fury of nature herself. Seahorses bind their lives to the shallow coastal waters where seagrass beds and coral reefs thrive. But these are also the zones most punished by the weather. When tropical storms roar, the ocean howls, and the gentle currents transform into violent, churning vortexes. For a poor swimmer like the seahorse, a heavy swell is a catastrophe. They are ripped from their sanctuaries. They are thrashed mercilessly by the water. In these moments of life and death, the tail, their anchor of life, must work at full capacity. They cling to each other, forming tangled knots of bodies to increase their weight. They cling to coral, to human trash, to anything that will hold. If swept out into the open ocean, the seahorse faces a certain death. They will die of exhaustion trying to swim against the tide, or starve in the blue wasteland far from their feeding grounds. The dried husks of seahorses found on beaches after storms are the sad witnesses to nature's cruelty. Their existence is as fragile as a candle in the wind, flickering yet defiantly resilient. Yet, if life were only about fear and hiding, this creature would have vanished eons ago. Nature is fair. She stripped them of strength, but compensated them with one of the most complex and romantic emotional lives in the animal kingdom. Surrounded by danger, the seahorse still makes time for love. Seahorses are faithful romantics. They often pair up and stay together, enduring the test of time. And the way they express this love is as beautiful as a poem. Every morning, as the first rays of sunlight pierce the surface and wake the reef, the bonded pair will find each other. They begin a ritual known as the morning greeting. Together, they change color, brightening their skin to the most vibrant hues, as if lighting up the dark water. They link tails, guiding each other up and down, spinning gracefully in circles, dancing a slow, elegant waltz in the heart of the ocean. This dance is not just courtship, it is the language of their bond, synchronizing their heartbeats and their reproductive cycles. In that moment, the hostile world fades away, leaving only two souls intertwined. And from this love comes the most unique miracle in the natural world: male pregnancy. In the world of the seahorse, nature has spectacularly reversed the roles of parenthood. The seahorse is the only animal on Earth where the male bears the physical burden of giving birth. After their mesmerizing dance, the female deposits her precious eggs into a specialized pouch on the male's belly. Here, the father fertilizes the eggs and begins a grand journey of gestation. The father's pouch is not merely a carrying bag, it transforms into a fully functional womb, lined with blood vessels. It provides oxygen, nutrients, and regulates the salinity of the fluid to match the outside world, preparing hundreds, sometimes thousands, of tiny lives. For weeks, the father carries this heavy load, moving clumsily, accepting a higher risk of being eaten to protect his unborn brood. The mother still visits every morning, dancing with him to offer encouragement, but the physical toll belongs to him alone. Then, the day arrives. Usually under the light of a full moon or at the break of dawn, the father goes into labor. Violent contractions rack his body. He bends and convulses, pumping his abdomen to expel the young. An explosion of life. From the father's pouch, hundreds, sometimes up to 2,000 baby seahorses are shot into the current. They are microscopic, translucent, yet perfect miniatures of their parents: the horse head, the monkey tail, the wide, wondering eyes. It is a magnificent burst of creation, but also the beginning of a tragedy. The moment they leave their father, the bond is severed. The babies receive no care, no lessons. They are swept away by the currents, drifting like dust in the wind. They become food for coral, for fish, for shrimp. The survival rate is devastating. Only about 1 or 2 out of every 1,000 will survive to adulthood. But this is the harsh balance of the ocean. The survivors, the lucky few, will eventually find a reef of their own. They will grow, they will hunt with patience, they will find a partner, and they will write the next chapter of love in the deep. The circle of life continues, silent but enduring. The seahorse, the quiet